Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, another chilly morning here in North Florida for us. We're gonna go out and get us some cold front action here. We are literally in the middle of a massive cold front. It's like 30, I don't know, probably 35 degrees out. Beautiful, absolute beautiful morning on the water. Not a cloud in the sky today. It's gonna be tough, but hopefully they're chasing shad this morning, and we're about to rip out there and find out. We did pretty decent last time we fished in this type of conditions out here, but it was a little cloudier and we had some wind. We don't have near any of that going on today. We're all wrapped up. Hopefully they're chasing shad. Hopefully the bait is still in the same spots that we found them in. Appreciate y'all tuning in here to the Bass Lawyer channel. Stay tuned, see what we get on.
Oh my god, it's cold. I gotta tell you, I didn't think it was gonna be that chilly of a run. Hopefully that's not too fogged up, meaning the GoPro. But my god, is it cold. Fish probably go about 4 pounds. Alright, so let me explain the hype over like a 3.5. I don't know. I'm hyped up on adrenaline. There's like 6 or 7 boats that have pulled up on me. I've kind of divided. The lake's about 400 yards wide, I'd say. This back area we're fishing is just tons of hydro lines, and it's not really a community hole, but a lot of us locals fish it. But since I've sat here, I've caught some 12-inchers. You've seen me set the hook 100 times on little fish, and I just got frustrated with them coming up. So them seeing me catch that fish, I had to be pumped. So, and I get super stoked when a good plan works out. You got the sun in your face. Hopefully the wind's not crazy. I'm talking kind of soft. Little 14-incher. $112 scared. Little. Yeah, he ain't gonna help, other than stealing my dang tail. black in there. Same thing, 10-inch worm, offshore fish. It's kind of crazy how I'm catching them today. Normally on this spot, I'll catch them in a hole, which is about 20, 30 yards off to my right. And today, I'm catching them off a shallower grass flat. So these fish are right on that. 135. Basement.
Alrighty, y'all, so talent down now in this same spot. We're gonna go ahead and retie. Hoping the wind isn't bad. I switched from the GoPro to the big camera so we can get a decent midday update. And when I'm fishing offshore like this, I hit them pretty hard. Again, it's only grass and sand bottom down there, but I still like to check my line after every fish, especially over that 3.5. I like retying just to give my knot better strength. So that's what we're sitting down now. While I retie, I'm just going to kind of talk about what I'm fishing, because it's pretty interesting to me, the pattern these fish are on today. Normally where I'm at on this spot that I have, it's a big deep hole. It goes from about 4 feet down to about 9-10 foot. Deepest part's about 11. Normally you'll catch them on that 9-10 foot part of the drop because it's a little step down. And when I first found this spot, those fish would sit right in that hole every single time. So I came here this morning and wasn't catching anything in that hole. So I made a long cast with the worm on the shallower part of the flat at the top of the hole. And it's got a ton of grass on it. But normally I don't have fish up there. Normally I don't have fish on that flat. So today, made a couple casts, hit a couple small 12-inchers, got a ton of bites, was missing fish. And finally hit that 3.5, and then the light bulb kind of lit. So I knew of some other areas on the lake that are kind of like that, those shallower flats, grass flats. So I went and fished those. We caught a couple small 12-inchers, as you saw, but a lot of little fish moving today, a lot. All right, so check these out on Carl's, Shop Carl's. These are the Barracudas. These things are awesome, man. I keep everything I own outside of my boat. I've had these pliers for about 1.5 years, these croc pliers. They're not rusted or anything. I get rained on a ton. I'm in Florida, so check out those cudas. Now when I'm fishing that hole, typically I'll fish about a 1/4 ounce weight. This morning I changed it up and I went to an 1/8 ounce little Woot tungsten bullet weight here. And the advantage of that, it's got a slower fall in that grass. It's about 4 to 5 foot there on that flat, and you really want to be able to keep that. I believe when you're fishing a shot like that, you want to be able to keep that bait off the bottom and in the water column. This fish can see it longer. It's in the strike zone longer. When you're fishing deeper in that hole, you want that 1/4 ounce because you're able to keep it on that 9-foot drop a little bit better. So drop down the bullet weight and we're swinging on fish. Definitely not as big as fish as we want to be on. We want to be on 3-4 pounders, obviously, bigger. So we got 135, a 112, and a 346. So we're sitting at a solid 5.93 pounds. Let's try to go catch one fish that weighs that, huh?
Fish is digging. Can't see it yet. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Another good one. It's a fat fish, powerful. 2.5 on the scale. Good old fatten though. Super Bowl is in session. I cannot believe I recorded, or I did not record that. Eric Tilson would be proud. That was such a good mat flipping fish. Look how fat. This sucker's been back here for a minute, man. Dark and just fatty. So I'm back here shallow again, like I said, with flipping these mats behind me. Finally got smacked on one. 167. Another decent one. I mean, just short, chunky football, man.
So 2 reasons maybe come back into this little creek back here. To catch some offshore fish, I knew that there was potential for a big bag to be caught out there. So much bait running out there that I've been finding over the weeks. But we were able to catch a couple, but just catching them on that flat grass line off of that drop there just made me to believe that these fish have pushed shallow in this cold front when this bluebird skies. Came back here and have put 3 in the boat flipping these bush lines. That doesn't happen for me very often, where a plan just sorts out perfectly. So I figured this would be a good time to kind of show you guys my gear. Maybe you're newer to the channel, and if you are, appreciate you. Hit that subscribe and stick around for more. But that one I caught flipping a big old mat, and I have flipped that mat a dozen times when I've come back here in the past and never got bit. So it was cool to finally get a mat fish. But what I've been flipping on these lighter bush lines is actually the same setup I've been, which is a Dobbins Champion Extreme 784 and a Lew's SLP custom speed spool with 15-pound Seaguar and Vizex fluoro. Catch 22 sort of. This rod is basically a 7-foot 8-inch medium heavy. It's a 4-power rod, kind of right in the middle of schemes. So I enjoy it a lot. Super sensitive. You can so much as feel the fish swim by your worm. I mean, this rod's awesome. Enough with the bladdering. Let's get back to catching some more fish. We don't have much more time, so let's try to at least cull maybe the small guy out and see what our best 5 end up being.
Oh man, so fast. They are so fast. That man, by the time this fish got around, I got around to feeling him after that pitch, he was in front of the trolling motor. Oh man, this is crazy, man. This is just wild. Look at that. My gosh, 240 on the scale. Stuff. Little one. What a fun day. You know, I always say try to learn something every day you're on the water. If you can at least learn something every day, even your worst day of catching 0 fish or 1 or 2, whatever it might be, as long as you get off the water learning something, success in my day. Especially today. Anticipated catching offshore fish on a shad pattern all day. There's tons of bait fish out there. Anticipated catching some bigger ones offshore today. They just weren't there, so that's all right. We're able to catch them on a shallow flat offshore, which gave us a little clue that maybe these fish have pushed a little shallower in today's cold front than they normally do, and they sure did. So glad we got on them. Glad we were able to come out here and catch a couple. I got to pull a Randy Haynes. I'm fixing to go to work for a little bit, so I got to get off the water. And I'll leave everything else to everybody else. Have some fun. Again, I appreciate you all tuning into the Bass All Year channel. Thanks again. Hitting that subscribe. Sticking tuned to the channel for more awesome fishing content. And as always, get out there. Stay safe. We'll see you guys out there on the water. Catch y'all next video.